Well, hello and welcome everyone. Dr. Matthews here. Hey, I wanted to take a moment to introduce you to Canvas. It's the learning management system that we're using at Park University. You may be familiar with eCollege or Blackboard, Moodle, WebCT, those types of learning management systems, and if you are, then this is not going to be that big a stretch for you, and it shouldn't be that difficult for you to get used to and understand. First thing you want to do, of course, is log in to Park University's website, and then you go to this page where it has student or faculty. I'm going to pretend to be a student for the moment and just click on this so that you'll know how to get to where you're looking for. Once you click onto the student icon, it'll bring you up to this page, and the first thing you'll see here is, of course, online classrooms. Now, if your class happens to be an online class 100%, then this will be particularly important to you. But even if your class is face-to-face or blended or some type of version within the two, you'll still be able to use Canvas, and most likely your instructors are going to be using Canvas as well. So click onto the online classroom and it'll bring you first off to your dashboard. In your dashboard, you're going to see all of the courses that you are signed up for or that you're enrolled in. Now, of course, my dashboard is going to look a lot different than yours because as an instructor, I have a lot of courses that I'm responsible for. That notwithstanding, I'm going to pretend that I'm enrolled in this course as a student. And as a student, you'll come into the course room itself. In this case, it's CJ 100, Introduction to Criminal Justice Administration. One of the key things that you need to understand is that you can reach just about any part of the course from just about every other page in the course. So this is the home page, and in the home page, there's some instructions for you to do. Go through the course interview, look through the policies, familiarize yourself with the rubrics, etc., and so on. In the online course, this online course, there are 8 units to it. So if you click on Unit 1, it's the same as if you were to click on Modules. Let me do that. Once you click onto Unit 1, it brings you to that first unit of which you'll have access to all of this information. From there, it's much like all the other courses you might have taken or any other course you might have taken online. You'll click onto this first part of Unit 1, which will give you an overview of the course or that particular chapters that are going to be covered. Here is the first discussion, and the discussions are much like they are anywhere else that you might do the discussion. Here is a combination of a lecture, which coincides with the discussion itself for this particular course, and then you have audios of the lecture if you're looking at absorbing this or getting hold of this content in a different manner. The discussion post itself, once you click on it, it's very much like all the other discussion posts you've seen. You're posted with the questions. It reminds you how to respond, but you're posted with a question, and all you do is come here, hit reply, and type in whatever your answer response is going to be. I'll not type that in because that's kind of an obvious thing. In your discussion, you've been given some specifics as to how you're to reply. In this case, your responses should be between 50 and 75 words in length, and then you're going to respond to 2 or more of your fellow students, and you'll do that when you see their discussions that will fall underneath your discussion. So you'll click on that and then you'll respond to them after you post your reply. Again, that's pretty typical, nothing different there. Some things that are different. Let's say you're interested in just taking a snapshot of what is going on in this course and what's going to be due. If you click on the syllabus, you're going to find it's a little different, at least this first click, a little bit different than the syllabus you are traditionally used to looking at. So in this syllabus, you'll see that all of the significant issues with regard to the course are already highlighted and listed here. And if you have access to them, if they are revealed for you, you'll be able to click on them and participate in that piece of the course pretty much instantaneously. You'll also see over here on the calendar that there are going to be reminders that show up from time to time here in the calendar to show you what's going to be available. Now, mind you, I'm looking at this from the instructor viewpoint, so I have access to a few more things like being able to edit the syllabus description for example, being able to get into the settings part, examples like that, things like that. But for the most part, this is what your syllabus, your condensed syllabus, is going to look like. Now, if you're looking to find the other information that you usually find in the syllabus, like how do you contact your instructor, what are his or her office hours, what does the plagiarism look like, what are the grading rules looking like, if you click onto that link, it'll take you to the traditional syllabus that you might be more familiar with. Here it has an outline again, what the course definition, who the instructor is, some of their qualifications, their office hours. In this case, for some reason, mine got kind of blown up because I was playing with it, but please ignore that. How you can contact your instructor, when, again, their office hours are, their educational philosophy. And then down here, in my case, I've also added in, right before the rubric, my bio, just a short bio about who I am and maybe a little bit more about me than that you didn't know already. So you can feel free to engage with that information and read it at your leisure. Oops. Okay, so let me jump back into the course room. I backed out too far. Let me try that again. Here we go. Back into my CJ100 course. All right. So then, that's really all that's required for you to jump into the course room and get started right away with your course requirements, your discussions and your assignments and those types of things. If you choose to chat with somebody, if the chat feature is turned on, click on chat, and it's much like any other chat feature that you might be familiar with. You'll find out who else is already in the course room or who else is already in the chat room, and then you'll be able to chat with them. In my courses, I generally don't stay in the chat room long, but when I am online, you'll be able to see that I'm online, and you can actually offer up a chat. If you've got a quick question you want to toss to me or some comment that you wanted to make about something specific, we can certainly engage in the chat in that direction or in that manner. From time to time in my courses, I'm going to probably have make use of the conferences for a variety of different reasons. If the weather turns bad and we're unable to meet for my face-to-face courses, we may do a conference call, in which case I'll get into more detail on that in another video for those courses specifically. But essentially it just allows you to do a webinar type of video conference with everybody who's in your course. All right. I think that's about it. There's really nothing else critical that you probably couldn't figure out for yourself. It's very intuitive. Maybe just make one more comment about the inbox. Let's say I wanted to send an email to somebody within the course, whether it's me. Here's my course itself. Whether it's me or it's a number of people who are in the course, I would simply compose a message. I would say who the message is going to go to. I have a list of, in my case, I have teachers or students. In your case, you would have something very similar. And you could send an email just like you would in your typical email. Now, one of the things that I really like about Canvas, as opposed to some of the other learning management systems that I've used, is that it makes use of a couple of things that other courses or other LMSs don't. It makes full use of the technology that you have available to you. In this case, if I wanted to not just send you an email where I'm texting, hello, and how are you? But instead I wanted to explain to you something specific about perhaps an assignment that I had read, or a corrected information that you need to be aware of, or something else, then I could actually go to the next level and click this icon. This icon allows me to record using my webcam and send you that recording of whatever it is that I'm trying to get across to you. This will take just a moment to load up, and then it'll resume itself. Of course, first thing is you need to make sure that you select whichever camera you're going to use. In this case, I would use the one that's on my computer. I could then click here and send the message. Hello, this is Dr. Matthews, and welcome to the course in Canvas. So then I could stop it. It'll save itself in just a moment. And then once it does, it'll embed itself right here as a comment. And then I could send it to you. Rather than reading the text that I would have typically sent, you could listen to whatever the media is that's there. That makes full use of the technology that's available. There's a couple of other things that I wanted to share with you regarding Canvas and some of the tools that are available, and I'll do that in a separate video. But for now, this is enough to get you started. You know how to enter the courses. You know how to access the various modules that are available in your course room, and you know how to send and receive messages. If you have any other questions, you can feel free to contact your instructor, whoever that might be, with regard to what their expectations are. You can also click on this very, very helpful Help button, and you can actually chat with somebody in Canvas for the Canvas support, if that's something that you want to do. Park University also has some help that's there, but by and large, you will find almost all of your questions answerable right here in the Search the Canvas guide. If you don't find it here, if you don't find it in the community, certainly you can ask your instructor. But the idea here is that you should try it yourself first before you ask for somebody else's opinion. But don't get stuck. I don't want you to go into vapor lock. If you've tried one or two things, you're not being able to resolve this, usually the answer is pretty simple, and your instructor usually has the answer or can very quickly find it, or those involved in the help menu, those in the online help, could find the answer for you and get you back on track. I don't want you to spend a lot of time battling with technology. We want to bend technology to our will. And with that, I will close and bid you adieu. Good luck in your course, and I'll talk to you later.